Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a comparison between the brand new Squier Classic Vibe 60s Mustang in a Sonic Blue and a Vintage Modified Squier Mustang. This is a 2015 model, so it's used, but this is basically what you can buy brand new in the shops now. The newer version comes with a Indian Laurel, but this has got the Rosewood, so that's going to be the only major difference between the two brand new sort of models that you can buy in the shop. So yeah, in terms of differences between these two guitars, well, price wise, these are currently around £316, these are around £319, so pretty much the same price. You can get the Fiesta Red one of these for around £300, which is slightly cheaper. But these don't come in the Fiesta Red. They both come in Sonic Blue, Vintage White, but the Vintage Modified comes in the Fiesta Red as well. So start from the headstocks. So they've both got the same style headstock. Both got vintage style tuners. The only difference being the tuning pegs on the Classic Vibe have got sort of nickel coloured ones, where the Vintage Modified have got more the old school plastic tuning pegs. Both got the same headstock, same maple necks, although the tint on the Classic Vibes is slightly darker. They're both vintage sort of tinted, but it's again darker on the newer version. Both got a gloss finish, both got the skunk stripe down the back. They're both crafted in Indonesia. So onto the fingerboards. Again, the new ones, Indian Laurel on the Vintage Modified, but this is Rosewood, so it's Indian Laurel on the Classic Vibe. The Classic Vibe's got a bone nut, that's a new addition, where the other one's just got a synthetic, probably plastic nut. They're both 24-inch scale, so it's 24 inches from the nut to the bridge, so both short scale guitars. Both got a 9.5-inch radius fingerboard. The big difference being on the fingerboards is a big sort of thing that I don't like about the Classic Vibes is they've got the narrow tool frets, where the old Vintage Modified have got the medium jumbo frets. Now, if you're not sort of used to playing narrow tool frets, personally I find them, when you're trying to move up the fingerboard pretty sharpish, they tend to, you're sort of like hitting speed bumps, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them personally, but I know a lot of people do. If you're light fingered, you probably won't find it a problem, but me personally, and a few other people, when I done a review of this guitar, did comment that they don't like the narrow frets, which I believe is on all the new Classic Vibe models. So they both have 22 frets. The Classic Vibe has got pearloid dot inlays. The Vintage Modified has got parchment inlays. I'll also say the neck on they're both C-shaped profile. They've both got the same nut width. Obviously the Classic Vibe's bone, but the neck on the Vintage Modified is definitely got a bit more chunk to it. They're both C-shaped profile, like I said, but the Vintage Modified is definitely noticeably thicker, which I prefer, because I've got big hands. These are small guitars, are short scale, so just bear that in mind. If you're used to playing bigger guitars, you'll probably find the Vintage Modified neck, obviously the chunk to it, a little bit easier to play with, along with the medium jumbo frets. But yeah, that's another big difference on them. So yeah, that pretty much covers the neck. Onto the body, they're both Sonic Blue. The Vintage Modified, it's got a basswood body. The new Classic Vibe has got a poplar wood body. But to be fair, they weigh about the same, so a lot of people were sort of a bit worried that the poplar bodies on the new Classic Vibes would be really light, but to be fair, they are, yeah, I wouldn't really tell the difference. It's probably a little tiny bit lighter, but not a lot in it at all. They've both got the polyurethane paint finish. So onto the pick guards. They've both got a tortoise pick guard. The newer versions, they're both full ply pick guard, but the newer version just seems to be a much better look to it. It looks black sort of, if you quickly look at it on the camera, but when you look up close it's a really dark, but it really does look nice, where the old one is more, the vintage modified one's more, just looks like a repo, you know, printed tortoise pickguard. The Classic Vibe's definitely more got that old style, you know, tortoise guard. So onto the pickups. The Vintage Modified has got the Seymour Duncan designed single coil pickups. The Classic Vibe has got the Fender designed Alnico pickups. So a lot of people are seeing that as an upgrade, but we'll see later on in the comparison. So switching, they both got in and out of phase switching and a master volume tone control. So if you don't know about Mustangs, you put the switches in the middle, that's both the pickups turned off. You turn one pickup either way, left or right, that will turn that individual pickup on. So same on the neck. So if you turn both pickups facing the same direction, either way, that is in phase. If you get the pickups switches turning away from each other or towards each other, that's out of phase. So there's 4 different sound positions you can play with on a Mustang, so it makes them really versatile. Again, you can mess around with a volume tone control to get a few more different sounds, make it brighter or darker. So onto the vibratos. They've both got the same Mustang style floating vibrato system. They both come with a wiggle stick. The Vintage Modified one, they have adjustable saddles on the bridge, which again, I've heard people moan about these. To be honest, I find them okay to work with. Sometimes the grub screws can come loose and rattle about a bit, but yeah, it's not too bad. The Classic Vibe has more of the original style barrel Mustang bridge with, it hasn't got the screws in, it literally is set to a 9.5 radius. You can adjust both the bridges by the grub screws either side, so it makes for setting the guitars up a little bit easier on the Classic Vibe. Yeah, that's probably it in terms of specs. Again, probably the best new additions to the Classic Vibe, I'd say, are the bone nut, and the bridge is more sort of easier, stable to set up. Again, we need to listen to the pickups to sort of decide what you think sounds the best and what the big differences are. And again, I prefer the pickguard on the, I've got them the wrong way around now from what I had before. The pickguard on the Classic Vibe, I'm definitely liking the look of that a lot more. Right, so today I'm going to go a bit more bare bones on the sound comparison, just so you get a better you know, idea of what these pickups sound like, what the differences are. So I'm just going to play a little bit of clean, hit the looper pedal, I'll come in with a bit of overdrive, and then over the top of that I'll come in with a bit of lead, so you get an idea of the, you know, the clean, distortion and lead sounds. I'll go through all the 4 different positions, so the neck, in and out of phase, and then just that bridge pickup on your own. So let's plug them in, see what they sound like. Okay, so this is the neck pickup on its own. Okay, so this is both the pickups together but in phase. Okay, so this is both the pickups together, but this time they're out of phase. Okay, so this is just that bridge pickup all on its own now. So there you go, that was a comparison between the Squier Classic Vibe 60s Mustang, just been released in the UK, and the Vintage Modified Squier Mustang. Again, these been out for a few years now. This has got the rosewood fingerboard. The new ones do have the Indian laurel, like the Classic Vibe. So the main differences are, starting again from the top, same headstock, tuning pegs are slightly different. Personally, I think the ratio on the Classic Vibe is not as good as the ratio on the Vintage Modified. I just find the Vintage Modified are easier to fine tune, but I'm not sure what the specs say, whether they're the same, but there's definitely a big difference. Both got a maple neck. I am preferring the darker tint on the Classic Vibe. The bone nut is definitely a good improvement. I'm happy with that against the plastic nut on the Vintage Modified. Again, fingerboards, this is rosewood, that's Indian laurel, but brand new, they are both Indian laurel. One thing I don't like on the new Classic Vibes is the narrow tool frets. I much prefer if they had the medium jumbo, or even the jumbo like they do on the American Performers, but yeah, you have to live with that. They both got the same radius, fingerboards, both same scale. Poplar body on the newer one, basswood on the older Vintage Modified, but to be honest, there's not a lot in it. I wouldn't really know the difference if nobody told me, so I'm happy with that. Both got the same sonic blue polyurethane finish. Pickups, again, I've been playing it and I can't really notice a lot of difference. I'll have to wait till I edit the video and watch it back myself to sort of give my opinion on it, but more than welcome to give your comments about that and your opinions, and let me know what you think sounds the best. I will, once I listen back, I'll put in the comment section what I actually think sounds the best. So yeah, the Classic Vibe has got them Fender designed Alnicos. The Vintage Modified's got the Seymour Duncan designed pickups. Improved tortoise guard, definitely looks a lot better to me on the Classic Vibe over the Vintage Modified. The bridge is definitely an improvement on the Classic Vibe. Just doing away with them grub screws and having the set radius makes it a lot easier. Vibratos are the same. It's the pickup switches on the Classic Vibe, the black. On the Vintage Modified, they're white. So quality control, they're both really well made. They're both crafted in Indonesia. The previous Classic Vibes were crafted in China, and I've read, you know, people complaining that the quality won't be as good being in Indonesia. To be honest, they are both really well made. I've had a lot of Indonesian Squiers and Chinese, and they're both on a par with each other, I'm honest. But in terms of quality control to the finish, yeah, paint wise, hardware, pretty much perfect. There's no faults in the paint or anything like that. The only thing I've found on the Classic Vibes, which I don't normally find on the Vintage Modifieds, is the frets are pretty sharp. Now, it could be because it's got the vintage tool frets in, but I've got a feeling it's more down to the fact this is a new line out, and Squier probably rushed to get these out, so they've, you know, sort of, you know, just sort of missed that little bit of quality control on the fret ends. But it's something really easy to fix. One little thing with the bone nut, the slots haven't been quite fold out enough. That's just you know, again, another easy fix. I think I've pretty much covered everything. They're both crafted in Indonesia, but yeah, these were both set up the same gauge strings on. Come with 9 gauge strings, brand new. So yeah, they've both got 9s on. So the main difference is in terms of sound, what you heard in a demo would have been just the pickups, and whether you believe there's a big difference in poplar wood and basswood wood. Let me know what you think sounded the best out of the two guitars. Also, which pickup setup you liked, you know, whether you liked it neck, bridge, in or out of phase. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on the frets and the other upgrades that have been made on the Classic Vibes. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I've also done a dedicated review to this and an unboxing video, so I'll put the link up to them and I'll put them in the comments below, so be sure to check them 2 videos out. So please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you stay up to date on all the latest videos. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, the Guitar Manifesto. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon. Peace out.